let's understand the results of this link split that we performed on the Citeseer dataset. The first thing for us to understand is the X values that you see for the validation data, the test data, and the train data. The X values that you see here for all three datasets indicate that each graph has 3,327 nodes and each node has 3,703 features. This is the same as that for the graph as a whole. And this makes sense because random link split has only split the links in the graph. That is the connection between nodes in the graph and not the actual nodes of the graph. So the number of nodes in each dataset is equal to the number of nodes in the graph as a whole. It's only the links that will be different. The edge index here that represent the message passing connections here in the graph might seem a little confusing. I'll come back and explain these values in just a bit. Let's look at some of the other simpler values and understand those first. The Y values represent the node labels. Because we have 3,327 nodes, all three values are equal to 3,327. You're already familiar with the train mask, val mask, and test mask. These are masks used for the nodes which make up the training, test, and validation data sets. We won't be using these here in the link prediction model. These masks are used for no classification tasks. We won't be using them for this link prediction task. Let me scroll over once again and let's understand the edge label and the edge label index. The edge labels correspond to the labels associated with the links or edges or the connections in this graph. If no edge exists, the label will be 0, and if an edge exists, the label will be 1. The edge label index represent graph connections, both positive edges as well as negative edges. They represent connections for edges that do exist, positive edges, and for edges that do not exist in the graph, the negative edges. In the validation dataset, you can see that the matrix for the edge label index is 2 by 910. This corresponds to 910 positive and negative edges, and that's why we have 910 edge labels. The question now here is how do we get these values for the number of edges in the validation test and training data? So why does the validation data have 910 edges? Why does the test data have 1,820 edges? And why does the training data have 3,187 edges? Let me show you a bit of math to get to these numbers. We've seen earlier that the Citeseer dataset is an undirected graph and it has a total of 9,104 edges. It turns out that each edge of this 9,104 is a directed edge, but between every pair of nodes, there are 2 edges, one in each direction, and this is what makes the graph undirected. So if you actually think about it, the graph has actually 9,104 divided by 4,552 undirected edges. Here we are essentially collapsing every pair of directed edges between the same 2 nodes into a single edge. Now, the validation ratio that we had chosen was 0.1 or 10%, and the test ratio was 0.2 or 20%. Now, keep this in mind as we do a little bit of math. Now let's see how we got the number of validation edge labels to be equal to 910. Now, we've seen that there are 4,552 undirected edges. If you multiply 4,552 by 0.1, that is the size of our validation data, you get 455. Now, the number of positive edges in the actual graph edges that exist in the graph is 455, which means we should have an equal number of negative edges. If you remember, we had set a negative edge sampling ratio to be 1. So the total number of edges in the validation dataset is equal to 910, 455 multiplied by 2. Now that you know how this basic calculation is done, computing the number of edges in the test dataset is straightforward. You can see that 20% of the edges belong to the test data, so that comes to 910. 910 positive edges, 910 negative edges, gives us a total of 1,820 edges in the test dataset. And as for the training data, how do we get that many edges? Well, that's 4552 minus 455 minus 910. That gives us 3,187. The number of negative edges is equal to 0. If you remember, we had set the parameter add negative train samples to false. We'll be adding the negative edges to the training dataset separately during training. Now, let's go back and explain one last bit. which I skipped over early on. We have the edge index here for the validation test and training data. Why are these edge indexes different from the edge label indexes that we looked at? The edge index represents those edges along which messages can be passed during graph neural network training. For undirected graphs such as this one, messages can be passed in both directions. We saw that the number of edges in the training set is 3,187, but the number of message passing edges is 3,187 multiplied by 2, equal to 6,374, and that's where you get the number of edges in the edge index for the training data. Now, when you're performing validation using the validation dataset, you only use the message passing edges of the training data, which is equal to 6,374 once again. And finally, when you work on the test data, the message passing edges of the training data and the message passing edges of the validation data are both included. That gives you 6,374,455 multiplied by 2. That is 7,284 message passing edges for the test data.